The unburdened body, Tammy Slaton finds freedom in a dance. The internet braced for another Tammy Slaton update, perhaps expecting a hospital selfie, a family argument snippet, or a cautious milestone post. What it got instead was a seismic shift captured in a minute and 43 seconds of pure, unadulterated movement. Tammy Slaton, the woman whose very survival was once questioned under the crushing weight of nearly 700 pounds, the woman whose journey on 1000 LB Sisters chronicled suffocating dependence and life-threatening immobility, was dancing. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not just swaying. Not just tapping a foot. Dancing. A full-bodied, joyous, surprisingly rhythmic celebration unfolding right there on a sun-dappled porch. The caption, simple yet profound, feeling good. It wasn't just a video, it was a declaration etched in motion. The video, a symphony of unimagined movement. Gone was the imposing wheelchair that had been her chariot and prison for years. Gone were the layers of flesh that bound her limbs, restricted her breath, and anchored her spirit. In its place stood Tammy, visibly transformed after her monumental skin removal surgery. Clad in comfortable athletic wear that hung loosely where excess once bulged, she moved with a lightness that seemed almost alien to her established public persona. The dance wasn't choreographed perfection. It wasn't meant to be. It was organic, bubbling up from a wellspring of feeling she hadn't accessed in decades, if ever. There were shoulder shimmies that sent ripples through the fabric of her shirt, ripples that now flowed freely without resistance. There were hip sways, tentative at first, then gaining confidence as the music pulsed through her. She raised her arms overhead, a gesture that once would have been an exhausting, breath-stealing effort, now executed with a burgeoning grace. Her feet, no longer swollen and hidden, stepped side to side, tapped, even executed a little spin. A genuine smile, wide and unguarded, lit up her face, reaching her eyes in a way viewers had rarely witnessed. This wasn't the Tammy struggling to walk a few feet down a hospital corridor. This wasn't the Tammy needing oxygen just to sit upright. This was Tammy Slaton experiencing the fundamental, often taken for granted, human right of inhabiting her own body with freedom. Every step, every shimmy, every raised arm was a silent scream against the years of confinement. It was a physical poem, look what I can do. Look what I have done. The weight of the past, the long road to the porch. To understand the magnitude of that porch dance, you have to travel back. Back to the Tammy who existed beneath the suffocating layers of fat and despair. The early seasons of 1000 LB Sisters painted a stark picture. Tammy, largely bedridden or wheelchair-bound, dependent on family for the most basic needs. Breathing was labor. Sitting upright was an event. Hope flickered weakly, often drowned out by defensiveness, self-sabotage, and the overwhelming biological and psychological grip of her addiction to food. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Her journey towards this moment of kinetic joy was paved with near-death experiences, devastating setbacks, and Herculean effort. The decision to pursue bariatric surgery wasn't the end, it was a terrifying beginning. The pre-surgery weight loss requirement felt insurmountable. Viewers watched her struggle, fail, rage, and weep. They saw the toll it took on her sister Amy, their relationship a complex tapestry of love, resentment, and codependence forged in a shared history of trauma and obesity. The turning point, often attributed to a life-threatening scare requiring a tracheostomy, seemed to ignite a fiercer, more desperate resolve within Tammy. The Tammy who emerged from rehab was different. There was a steely determination beneath the vulnerability. The weight began to drop, significantly. She graduated from the wheelchair to a walker, then to walking unaided, short distances at first, then further. Each step was a victory broadcast to millions, each pound lost a testament to a willpower many doubted she possessed. But the physical transformation was only half the battle. Losing over 400 pounds left behind a cruel reminder of her past, massive, debilitating folds of excess skin. This skin wasn't just cosmetic, it was a physical burden. It caused chronic pain, infections, rashes, and severe mobility restrictions. It was a constant, tangible reminder of the body she was escaping, clinging to her like a physical manifestation of shame and limitation. The dream of true freedom remained out of reach until this final, brutal step, skin removal surgery. The unshackling, more than cosmetic, a reclamation. The skin removal surgery Tammy underwent was no minor procedure. It was a marathon operation, often lasting many hours, involving multiple surgeons working simultaneously on different areas of her body, torso, arms, thighs. It was high risk, involving significant blood loss and complex reconstruction. Removing sometimes 30 pounds or more of skin was not just about aesthetics, it was a profound medical necessity and a radical act of bodily reclamation. The recovery was grueling. Drain tubes, compression garments, intense pain, limited mobility, and the psychological adjustment to a radically altered silhouette. It was another mountain to climb, another test of endurance after years of relentless struggle. The body she saw emerging from the bandages was scarred, swollen, and utterly unfamiliar. Yet, it was hers. Unburdened. Liberated. The dance, where healing takes physical form. Which brings us back to the porch. That dance video wasn't just a fun clip. It was the first, unfiltered, public expression of Tammy experiencing the tangible results of her years of agony and effort. It was the culmination of 1,000 small victories and a few monumental ones. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Physical liberation, every movement showcased the absence of the physical barriers that had imprisoned her. The skin that once pulled, chafed, and restricted was gone. She could raise her arms without the weight of flesh dragging them down. She could twist her torso without painful folds pinching. She could step freely without her thighs binding. The dance was a live demonstration of her reclaimed physical autonomy. Emotional release, the joy radiating from Tammy was palpable. This wasn't the hesitant, sometimes performative smile of earlier seasons. This was pure, unfettered elation. Dancing requires a surrender to feeling, to rhythm, to the present moment. For someone whose life was dominated by physical discomfort, logistical limitations, and profound emotional pain, this surrender was revolutionary. It was the physical manifestation of happiness breaking through years of accumulated trauma and self-loathing. Psychological rebirth, the dance symbolized a profound shift in self-perception. To move your body freely, to inhabit it with joy rather than shame or resentment, is a fundamental act of self-acceptance. Tammy wasn't just dancing, she was celebrating the body that had carried her through hell and emerged transformed. She was acknowledging its strength, its resilience, and its newfound capacity for pleasure. This wasn't just about looking different, it was about feeling fundamentally different inside her own skin. Defiance and triumph, the video, knowingly or not, was a powerful act of defiance. Defiance against the trolls who constantly body-shamed her, even as she lost weight. Defiance against the doctors who may have doubted her. Defiance against her own past self-destructive tendencies. It screamed, "I am still here. I fought. I survived. And now, I dance." It was her victory lap, performed not on a track, but on her own porch, in the simple, profound language of movement. Beyond the viral moment, the ongoing symphony. The internet, often a harsh critic, largely erupted in celebration. Comment sections flooded with tears, applause, and messages of awe and inspiration. Fans who had followed her painful journey felt a vicarious thrill. Strangers were moved by the raw display of human resilience. It resonated because it transcended reality TV. It was a universal story of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds to grasp a fundamental human experience, the joy of physical freedom. But Tammy's journey isn't over. The dance on the porch is a milestone, not the finish line. Maintaining her weight loss is a lifelong commitment. The psychological healing from decades of trauma, food addiction, and public scrutiny runs deep. Adjusting to her dramatically changed body, navigating relationships transformed by her metamorphosis, including her recent widowhood, and building a new identity beyond the 1,000-pound sister are ongoing challenges. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The skin removal scars will fade but remain, permanent maps of her extraordinary journey. The loose skin is gone, but the mental and emotional echoes of her past may linger. Yet, that dance video offers irrefutable proof of her progress. It's evidence of a capacity for joy and freedom that was unimaginable just a few years ago. The echo of her steps. Tammy Slaton's full-body dance is more than a viral moment, it's a cultural touchstone. It challenges perceptions of obesity, resilience, and the sheer willpower required for radical transformation. It forces us to confront the humanity often obscured by extreme weight, the desires, the pain, the capacity for joy that exists beneath the surface. Her dance is a testament to modern medicine's ability to offer second chances, but more importantly, it's a monument to the indomitable human spirit. It's the sound of chains breaking, not with a clang, but with the shuffle of feet on a porch floor and the rustle of clothes moving freely on a body finally unburdened. It's the sight of a woman discovering, perhaps for the very first time, that her body is not her prison, but her instrument. An instrument capable of expressing a joy so profound, so hard-won, that it could only be communicated through the universal language of dance. As the video ends, Tammy catches her breath, her smile still wide, her eyes bright. The porch is just a porch again. But everything has changed. The woman standing there is lighter, yes, in pounds and skin. But the true lightness, the palpable, radiant lightness, is the weightlessness of a spirit finally free to move. Free to dance. Free, at last, to simply be. And in that simple, stunning act of movement, Tammy Slaton didn't just share a video, she shared a revolution, one joyful step at a time. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.